More outrage at the Daily Mail. They have discovered the red pill analysis of sexual relationships. Lewis.
Yeah, well, they did this. Yeah, outrage over controversial female privilege, quote unquote female privilege list drawn up by men's rights activists. And this was in TikTok. They had this list which lists all these different things that show how much better it is to be a woman. And it is better to be a woman.
It's convincing, isn't it?
It is very convincing. The problem is you're telling a woman this women this who don't believe that it's good to be.
Well, no, a woman found it on Reddit. I don't know that it wasn't like being introduced into a female chat room or something.
It wasn't. She found it, but okay. So a woman should not hear this. We shouldn't be discussing this because if you say that women have certain privileges, not all the privileges, they're not going to like it.
What do you think, Josh? Do you think I mean, obviously, it's intended to counterbalance some of the other arguments rather than...
Yeah, she kind of refutes it, and a lot of them are kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
But one of them is really funny. Number 8 is, it says, I can look at children for more than 3 seconds with no fear of being labelled a paedophile.
Yeah.
That's like...
It's true. And I don't know whether it's male privilege or a female privilege that has led to virtually the entire faculty, for want of a better word, staff in like junior schools, infant schools, schools for under 11s are all women.
Yeah, primary. Well, no, there are some,
and they weren't when I was a kid. There were men teaching us.
Yeah. We've had some male teachers at our school, but I just think it's funny that someone cared enough to write that down. I just really miss looking at kids, and it's so unfair that I have to.
But what did the woman say who was answering this CC woman?
She said you're a pedo.
She says, why would you want to look at a child?
Yeah.
As if children are horrible. Here's a woman.
But why are you in the park just staring at kids whimsically?
All that guy needs, he just needs to get a dog. Just get a golden retriever. You get to speak to loads of
But there is an interesting thing. Is also, 22 was many places now hire preferentially or exclusively women. Yeah. And she says that's not true. You can't discriminate based on gender. In our industry, we do see comics hired because of their gender, solely because of their gender.
My agent certainly says that he gets inquiries along those lines. We want
we need a female act for this.
I will also say, though, it's more historical analysis of society, isn't it? Because he is refuting the idea of the patriarchy being this kind of thing which, you know, despite our best attempts, still underpins society. And he says, well, historically speaking, only men were conscripted and forced to go to war. You know, millions of men died in war. Yes, sometimes women get, you know, the brunt of that because they're left to bring up children alone. It's no fun either, but still, the men are dying. 96% of workplace deaths and fatalities occur among men. Almost always the children are given to the woman in a divorce. Almost always she gets a very beneficial financial settlement. All that kind of stuff. That's fairly big, meaty stuff.
She does,
right?
yeah. But she
These
does
are not
counter
tweaking little kind of, women, you know, always get served first on the, you know, on the aeroplane or whatever. It's fairly big structural stuff.
But she does sort of counter some of those points and says, well, there's no conscription nowadays. This is an American society. Women usually are the primary carers, which is why they might get. So she does provide, to be fair, some counterpoints. Well, I think the saddest thing about being a woman, or the best thing about being a woman, I should say, is that you can sort of lie in bed and look at Lewis's calendar and touch her.
And buy Lewis.
There's probably literally dozens of them out there right now doing exactly